today. And a few suggestions that they had kind of said to me about possibly raising today would be looking at the RSA website about cancellations, that if you can possibly book cancellations or to show what cancellations are available on your website and that you could book, because I know that there's external apps that they're doing it. There's an app, is it called Drive now, that people have to pay €12, and they're obviously just collating your information. But that, you know, that might be something. So that's one thing. Another suggestion that they were also making is, you know, and in fairness, it has to commend the Department of Transport and Minister Kenny that the wait times have come down, you know, for driving tests. It's gone down to 10 weeks, and that has to be commended. But also this driving instructor was suggesting is that when someone gets their learner permit, that they can apply for their test then, you know, and that they'd work with their instructor, but that they'd be able to work backwards. So they'd be able to pick a date that they know is going to suit them, but they will have their 12 mandatory, lessons done, but that they can work backwards instead of the other way around. And that might lead to the non-attendance of tests as well, might be a way of addressing that. And the final suggestion that they were making, then you can come back in, is that why are people being double tested? You know, that we say things like engine parts, and asking those kind of things that are addressed in your theory test, why are they part of your actual driving test? Is that not a duplicate? Is it a waste of time, basically?
Okay, so I'll take the first one. All cancellations are put up on our website every day. So if there's a cancellation received today, it will appear at midnight tonight on the system. So we continuously put it. It doesn't come up and say cancellation. It just opens the slot for when that person had a test. In relation to,
would it be helpful to do that if there's a necessary to have another app that people are obviously using this other app? Would it be useful?
So we do not in any way condone the use of that app.
I know, but people are still using it though.
Well, we would advise people they don't, because unfortunately it skims our website. We have taken steps to prevent it. And we will continue to take steps to prevent it as it adapts and as it moves on. But they must be addressing a need, though. So, you know, if otherwise it wouldn't exist. People are willing to pay €12. I would have agreed they would have been addressing a need when the waiting time was up at about 23 and 24 weeks. But now we have it down to 10 weeks and continuing to fall. I don't see the need for that because our own website is capable of actually taking that.
Thank you.
So then in relation to the booking of the test at the time of when you take your driver's licence, the mandatory 12 lessons are exactly that. There's an additional 36 hours of accompanied driving that's required at a minimum to achieve a level of competence. In some cases, that's a lot more, depending on the individual. So having that, get your learner permit and booking a test, that is not the most effective way, because what we would see is people arriving for a test who are not prepared, because during their journey, they may have issues that they need to work on, they need to develop on. So I wouldn't. And
I suppose that would come up one to counteract as well, that people would have done their 12 weeks, they'd have been ready, their instructor would have said they're ready, and then they were waiting 4 months for the test, which they've lost all their skills then again.
They shouldn't have lost their skills because they should be doing the additional 36 hours of driving at a minimum. So that's what we would be advocating. And I would really advocate to be competent, you should do 60. And there was one more question
about the double testing. You know, why are the theory questions being asked in the driving test? I suppose when they're done already.
Very quickly in relation to that, what we have is vehicle usage. You need to understand your vehicle. You need to be able to open the bonnet. You need to be able to change a wheel. You need to give a real example of that. We'd like to see people understanding the vehicle they are driving. There was reference earlier on to ADAS systems that are on vehicles. It's important that as part of your ownership and driving of the vehicle, you understand how those systems work. So again, I would advocate that good vehicle knowledge is a very important part of actually driving.
And the Queen's University study that stakeholders will be that they'll be driving instructors will be included as part of that stakeholder body.
Thank you.
We have a lot of work we're going to do in that space.